Hey guys, Kamina the Koach here. Take these off because of the glare. Kamina the Koach here, coming back at you. I'm gonna do this one on a topic that someone requested on the channel, and so I was about to start babbling. Kamina the Koach here. We're gonna talk about how to get that job overseas. Um, I'm going to talk about a couple of different ways. If you are somebody who has worked overseas, please feel free to drop a link or a suggestion, whatever. If you are a Black American, feel free to join us at Americans of Color Teaching Abroad, or joining us at Overseas Jobs for Black Americans on Facebook. So, diving right in. So today is the 15th of January, and I'm feeling much more happy and whole. My birthday is tomorrow, and I was able to pick up my pieces kind of after the storming of the Capitol on the 6th. So we're not going to talk about that in this video. I am going to talk about it in another video. Anyway, so somebody dropped a question. So I have been talking about my journey as I've been offered head of an small international school in Tanzania, and someone asked, how'd you get the job? So let's go all the way back to when I started teaching abroad. So I started teaching abroad long before it was the thing to do. I started teaching abroad when I got out of the military, 2010-ish. So there just wasn't a lot of publicity about it. People weren't talking about it. So it was really hard to know where to begin. So basically, all I did, a friend suggested it to me. A friend of a friend suggested it to me. And so I basically just put my resume on the internet. I think I might have Googled teaching abroad. I put my resume on a job board. A woman from China contacted me, and 3 weeks later I was in China. No joke. So something that you need to remember about me is that I am not a traditional teacher. Or at least I didn't begin my journey as a traditional teacher. So I was in the military for 10 years, and I had substitute taught, but my undergraduate degree is in criminal justice. I thought I was going to go to law school. I did a master's degree in criminal justice. And by the time that I was getting ready to go to China, all I had done is some training. I had done some training and some substitute teaching. And that's really all I had on my resume. So it wasn't very much money. I can't even really tell you how much money it was. Housing was included. My plane ticket wasn't included. And it was a very wonderful opportunity to kind of open the door for my career. So it was in rural China, and it was very, very difficult. The job itself was easy because I was just teaching oral English. It was nothing. The job itself was very, very easy. But the school didn't have heat or air. It was a rural government school. So the kids live there. The kids don't have running water. They don't have showers. They have to heat up water and pour them into little tubs to bathe. The bathroom didn't have doors on them. It was just a squatty trough with walls in between. So there's no like real doors. So it was a real something to adapt to say the least. I paid my dues there. So I've kind of changed the focus of this group. So I know a lot of people initially started off teaching English and have made it into other things. I also started off teaching English, but in the process of it, I have developed a great respect for education, educators, and the art and the science of education. And that's why I've changed the group. So if you're just looking to go overseas, if you're looking to get out of the United States and you just want to go teach English, I'm not really talking to you. But that was my experience. But I am a different type of person, and I really have a lot of love for my students and a lot of respect for the profession. So I know that there are still people who are doing this just simply to escape the United States. And for me personally, I feel that every student deserves a teacher who cares and who is up on their stuff. It's not, people are like, oh, some teachers are born. Okay, well, you could be really good with people, but there is real science to education, and teaching the way that you've always been taught is not the way to go these days. Anyways, long-winded. So anyways, that's the way I got my first job. I got my next job while I was overseas, and I can't tell you really where I got it from. It was from one of these job boards. I went to Saudi Arabia next, but I had to go to Beijing and spend the summer getting my CELTA before I could go to Saudi Arabia. So I have moved around quite a bit. I have taught in China twice, Saudi Arabia 3 or 4 times, Oman twice, the UAE once, Iraq, Northern Iraq, Kurdistan twice, Mexico, Thailand, Myanmar, all of those once. So I have used places like, most recently, I think I found this last job on Dave's ESL Cafe, to be quite honest. I'm pretty sure that's where I found it. SeriousTeachers.com has always been a really good place for me. Again, I'm not like a lot of the teachers in my group, because the group now, Americans of Color Teaching Abroad, has been more focused on actual licensed teachers. So licensed teachers can easily go a different direction because they have a license to teach. So ISS, I believe, is a way they go. There's another paid site that like gives you like reviews of international schools. So aside from that first year, a little bit in Thailand, a little bit in China. So both times I was in China, Thailand, and I guess that was it. I've not really taught kids. Iraq once. I've not really taught kids. Most of the time I've been at university level, university or college level teaching adults. So I'm not going to find positions the same place that licensed teachers are. I know a lot of the licensed teachers in the group use ISS. They pay for the service because they can get a review of the school, and then they contact the school directly. I will say, and I have a friend / colleague who backed this up, that some countries and some places, it's really about who you know. So it's really good to get into these groups where people like me are there that have kind of been all over the place. They've made relationships with recruiters. They know someone at the school. It is really, 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 so for a licensed teacher after these sites, it is really beneficial to get into these groups with other licensed teachers who are working abroad. If you don't know anyone who is overseas, I recommend getting into these groups and making friends and making connections. I think there's one called Bilal, Black Americans Living Abroad, that it has a lot of Black Americans in it, and these aren't just teachers, so you could feel free to join. That's not my group, but it was a good group while I was there. It's just too many people. I'm an introvert. It's just too many people. But that's a good group. So I have one focused towards teachers and one for people who want to do other things like contractors, people in the medical field, people who want to be diplomats, that kind of stuff. So I do know that I personally have posted a lot of things because I have nurse friends in Saudi Arabia. You know, they've told me, hey, I contacted this person and she was able to put me right in. So I'm able to share that with my group. So it's really valuable to get inside these groups and make connections. When you see a lot of teachers, COVID has put a damper on everything. But I will say that up until COVID, my teachers group was a really great place to find jobs. People were constantly posting jobs. There are still jobs being posted, just not like there was before. And I would expect I would not expect academic year 21 to be any better, to be quite honest. For a while, I expect it to be like this. Let's just see what's going to happen. That's why I'm kind of really, really leaning towards this job in Tanzania, because what are my options otherwise? I actually had someone contact me from Oman, and I think, so where did I see that one? I think I saw that posting in Serious Teachers. Yeah, I saw it on Serious Teachers. And so they contacted me right away because I fit their skill set. I fit what they're looking for. I have a master's and I have experience teaching IELTS, but it was a training center, and I have no desire working at a training center. If you are a licensed teacher, working at a training center is not going to look good on your resume. And even me, who is not a licensed teacher, it just doesn't. It's not something I'm willing to consider, and it's not something I want to put on my resume. No matter how bad I want to get out of the United States, that's not something I'm willing to consider. So we'll recap real quick, because I'm gonna go. I hear my laundry. Sorry about that. So ISS for licensed teachers. There's another paid service. If you're a licensed teacher watching this and you know what that other paid service is, please drop that down below. SeriousTeachers.com, Dave's ESL Cafe, Footprints. What is the other one? Footprints. Tefl.com. There are a lot of platforms, but I think, especially for a licensed teacher, the best thing you can do is just make connections. ISS, get on ISS because you don't want to get into a bad school. You want to see what people have to say about that school. But really, making connections is your most valuable tool at this point. So I hope that helped you some. I feel like I babbled a lot. I've been very lucky and blessed to be surrounded by some amazing people on the groups that I host, and I'm very thankful to them for their love, guidance, and support. I have gotten at least 2 jobs from my group. So, all right, until next time, wishing you love, light, peace, and joy. My next video will be on happiness. Stay tuned.